Okay, so now I'm ready to go to the value chart. I finished my color wheel, and for the value chart, pick one color out of your palette of different tubes, but you cannot use white, of course. You can't use black, and I recommend that you don't use anything that's yellow. The yellows, you start adding dark values to it and they look really muddy. But this one is crimson that I'm going to use. This was, I think, sap green on this one. This student used crimson on this one. Now this student used, I think, phthalo blue. But what happened was they really had a hard time in this area because everything looks the same. In fact, this is darker maybe than even out here. And we want to have a progression of going, lighter on one side, darker on the opposite side. So, and it doesn't matter which side goes dark and which side goes light. So I'm going to start, I need some black and I need some white. I'm going to do the light end first. And as I mentioned before, we do not use white in transparent watercolors. We simply start to use more water. And so this is where I'm going to need to have my paper towel here. And that's definitely going to be lighter. I think I need a little bit more pigment. Oops. Okay. Now by leaving a halo, a little white line where it's dry, it prevents the water from running into the next little area. And so I can continue working without making it come to a completely dry state. Now I need to keep adding water to my pigment to thin it down. If I need to, I can take either a paper towel or a piece of tissue and blot it out a little bit to remove some of the water, which will also take out some of the color. By the time we get to the very last, it should look almost white with just a hint of color in it. Okay. So that's my color gradation going from original color to light. Now I'm ready to start the darker value side. And so what I've done is I put a little bit of my crimson red into the next little divot. And I'm going to start to add just some very small amounts of black. That was probably, well, that's not too bad. Let me see how it looks. So let's paint this on. Okay, now I just need to continue to add small amounts of black to it to darken the value. The goal is to end up on this far side with something that looks almost black, but you can still see the original value or original hue showing through. Okay, I'm going to test this on my paper towel. I think I'll add a little bit more black. Okay, I just continue now to add more black. See how that is. Okay, I think the value is getting darker each time at a nice rate. So I'm going to add more black to it. So this is looking almost black, but you can still see a hint of the original hue. Still has a little bit of red in it. Okay. So when this dries, this will be my value chart. Going from almost white with a little bit of the crimson hue in it to almost black with a little bit of the crimson hue in it. So that's my value chart.